Michael Thompson had worked as a hotel manager for 6 years, and in that time, he had earned a reputation for his professionalism, dedication, and calm demeanor, even in the most challenging situations. As one of the few black managers in a traditionally conservative environment, Michael was used to navigating not only the typical demands of his job but also the subtle undercurrents of prejudice that often surfaced in the workplace. He understood that as a black man in a leadership role, he would have to work twice as hard to prove himself and earn respect, and he did so with dignity and determination. On one particular day, Michael was overseeing operations in the hotel lobby when an unexpected encounter unfolded. A woman, seemingly in a hurry and with a smartphone in hand, began making her way through the crowd. As she approached the front desk, she raised her phone and began speaking loudly, clearly intending to get Michael's attention. With a sneer, she mocked his presence, calling out, "Hey, can you smile for the camera, black man?" The words were sharp, dripping with condescension, and Michael instantly felt the sting of her racism. Yet, he didn't flinch. Michael had dealt with similar comments before, and his extensive training in customer service and conflict resolution taught him that the best response was often no response at all. He kept his expression neutral, his posture impeccable, and his focus entirely on the task at hand. Despite the taunts, he refused to let her behavior disrupt the professionalism he was committed to upholding. The woman, however, wasn't finished, and her mockery grew louder, testing Michael's patience and resolve. But Michael remained unwavering, standing firm in his commitment to treat everyone with respect, even when that respect was not returned. As the woman's behavior grew increasingly hostile, her words became more pointed and cruel. She mocked Michael loudly, belittling not only his role as a hotel manager but also his presence there, questioning why someone like him was allowed to work in such a position. Despite her blatant disrespect, Michael remained calm, maintaining his professionalism and ignoring her taunts. But it was clear that the situation was escalating. The crowd around them shifted uncomfortably, some people even stepping back, unsure how to react. The woman's voice cut through the quiet lobby, drawing more attention to her outbursts. Michael, ever the professional, did not respond to the provocations. His focus remained on the job, though inside, he felt a growing sense of frustration. A security guard approached, noticing the rising tension, but the woman waved him off, continuing her verbal assault. Soon, Michael's supervisor arrived and, without fully understanding the situation, decided to remove him from his post while an investigation took place. Michael felt a heavy sense of injustice. Though he had done nothing wrong, he was now temporarily suspended, left to wait for the outcome of an inquiry. It stung to see the woman's behavior go unchecked while he was the one being taken away. After the intense confrontation in the lobby, Michael stepped away to gather his thoughts. The moment had shaken him, and as he sat quietly in a nearby area, reflecting on the events that had just transpired, he couldn't shake the feeling of injustice. He had worked so hard to earn his position, yet in a single moment, his professionalism had been challenged by someone who clearly had no respect for him or his role. As he sat, trying to process the situation, a young boy approached him hesitantly. Michael looked up to see Liam, the woman's nephew. Liam was holding a small toy in his hands, a toy hotel manager figure, and seemed both nervous and remorseful. His eyes met Michael's, and for a moment, they shared a quiet understanding. "I'm really sorry about what happened," Liam said softly, his voice trembling. "My aunt shouldn't have said those things. She was wrong." Michael, though still hurt by the situation, could see the sincerity in the boy's eyes. He could tell Liam wasn't like his aunt. He wasn't filled with the same animosity. Michael smiled gently, recognizing that this was a moment for guidance rather than anger. "It's not your fault," Michael replied, his voice calm but firm. Sometimes, people don't realize how hurtful their words can be. But it's important to understand that everyone deserves respect, no matter who they are or where they come from. Liam nodded, looking down at the toy in his hands, clearly moved by Michael's words. "She doesn't treat me very well either," Liam confessed. She says stuff about me too. Michael's heart softened. This was a boy who had been hurt, just like him, and yet here he was, seeking to make things right. Michael offered Liam some comforting advice, encouraging him to stand up for what was right and to always be kind, even when others weren't. They shared a quiet moment of connection, and Michael knew he had made a difference in the boy's life, even in the midst of his own struggles. As the day unfolded, Michael found himself caught between feelings of injustice and the weight of his responsibilities. The woman's actions had not only been disrespectful but also damaging to the environment he had worked so hard to foster at the hotel. Still, he couldn't help but feel a sense of relief when Liam's honesty and courage began to change the course of the situation. After their brief but meaningful conversation, Michael realized that sometimes, it wasn't just about defending yourself. It was about creating an opportunity for understanding and growth, especially for those who might not yet understand the consequences of their actions. The following day, things began to shift. Liam, despite his own discomfort, had mustered the courage to speak up about what had happened. He shared what he had witnessed, how his aunt had disrespected Michael and crossed the line. The truth began to emerge, not just through Liam's words but from others who had quietly observed the scene. The hotel staff, some of whom had been hesitant to get involved, now spoke out in support of Michael. Witnesses confirmed that Michael had remained calm and professional throughout, even in the face of hostility. It wasn't long before Michael's supervisor approached him with a heavy but apologetic expression. "We've reviewed everything," the supervisor said. "We were wrong to assume. You've always upheld the standards we expect, and your professionalism is beyond question." Michael's heart lifted as the supervisor offered him his position back, acknowledging his patience, integrity, and the example he had set. When Michael returned to his duties, it wasn't just a return to his role. It was a return with renewed purpose. He stood a little taller now, knowing that even in the face of prejudice and unfairness, his actions had sparked something meaningful. In a small but significant way, he had made a lasting impact, not just on Liam, but on everyone who had witnessed the events unfold. Michael had shown them that courage wasn't just about standing up for yourself. It was about standing up for what was right, even when the world seemed to be against you. This story moved you? Please like and share. Don't forget to subscribe. This story moved you? Please like and share. Don't forget to subscribe.